taking trips, cause I never tripped on what they said. If you speaking from your heart, naysayers gon' aim for your head.
Hello guys, it's me V.41.4 here, and today I really just wanted to make a real quick video about the recent changes made to Zinx and her kit as of the patch that was released by Epic Games yesterday. And I really just wanted to discuss with you guys if Zinx is now gonna be viable in the mainstream meta after this change. Well, before everything, the main problem with Zinx was the fact that she couldn't deal damage without losing her tanking capabilities due to the fact that her main damaging ability, Kitty Claws, dealt 120 damage and her mana was rather high mana cost. And her dirty healing, her ult, required a lot of mana to save her, to tank. And well, just looking at the fact that if she used Kitty Claws to deal major amounts of damage to her enemies, she would deplete most of her mana and really would lose her tanking capabilities. Even though she has missing mana regen 6%, it really isn't that great if a ADC starts focusing you in a team fight, because even though you have 6% missing mana regen, your mana pool has to be really very large to make a difference. And well, just looking at her 140 base mana pool, that isn't really that big, and by the end of the game you're gonna have, late game you're gonna have around 1000 mana, optimistic 1000 mana, and 6% of that is going to be 60. So at 60%, you can say if you lose all your mana, it's going to be around 60% per second. But that really isn't that great, looking at the fact if Chimera targets you. Late game Chimeras have around 200 damage and they attack faster than 1 second. So without her tanking capabilities, Zinx is actually very squishy. So if Chimera catches you without a big mana pool, well, you're gonna die very quickly, because Chimeras really generally have very high damage and have very high speed. And this was the issue, this was the major problem that was addressed by Epic Games for Zinx and this patch. They buffed her up, base mana increased from 240 to 260, mana per level increases from 53 to 58, and her attack speed per level increased from 0 to 1.2. And that really isn't that game breaking, but these two changes right here, Kitty Claws and Dirty Healing changes, were actually her major changes made by Epic Games. Just looking at this, Kitty Claws mana cost decreased from 60, 80, 100, 122, 24, 32, 40, 48. This is actually a very major change. Just looking at the fact that now Zinx can, well, deal major damage without losing her tanking capabilities, as she wouldn't require as much mana as before to deal the same amount of damage, actually more damage, because in 48 you can fit more than 2 48s, in 120 you can fit more than 28s, no, more than 2 48s, sorry. And her next change was Dirty Healing mana regen increased from 246% to 46 and 8% of missing mana. Now this really is a very big change, as this is gonna allow her to, well, this is gonna increase her survivability in team fights. As imagine taking the Chimera example from before, if most of her mana pool is depleted and she has 0 mana and hers total of 1000 mana for simplicity's sake, 8% of that is going to be 80. Instead of regening 60 mana, you're going to be regening 80 mana per second. Now that can be actually very major. Another 20 mana is going to allow for a lot more tanking capabilities, looking at the fact that 1 point of health takes 0.6 mana, with the extra 20%, you're gonna be able to, well, heal around 40. You're gonna be able to heal around another 35 damage, which is actually very significant, looking at the fact that you're having 0 mana. So the second change isn't as major as the first one, but the second change does increase her survivability out of base and in team fights, and her first change, major change, allows her to deal damage without losing her tanking capabilities. And there were some other changes made to the Fae and Wraith, and some emotes and skins released by Epic Games after in this patch. And well, that's all the usual, and thank you for your time. Comment down below, and we will discuss in the comment section if Zinx is viable in Paragon meta after this change. Thank you. It's been your it's been Vex. Have a good day, have a nice day. Over and out.